Alright, so, are you ready for what is, if not one of the best intro screens, then the best? For you see, today, we are going after Jet Stingray, and you know why? It's because he destroyed the city and escaped to the sea!
Jet Stingray!
Also, there's an announcer, and he's great. That's just exactly the kind of voice I would put on for this sort of thing. You don't hear it when I'm recording the raw footage, but that is absolutely how I talk about the Mavericks. Anyway, so we're starting with the non-standard stage. We have a bike here, and I don't really like the stage. I don't like looking at it. It's something about the background I'm just not a fan of. Also, this is basically just jump, jump, slide, slide without the handy little warnings, which is worse. Less of a meme, but worse to play. You can get the heart simply enough by just falling there. Your best friend once you actually know the stage is dashing, because it basically just gives you iframes, and not only that, you can destroy things in the air, you can just go in a straight line in the air, you can fall on things to do damage. The one problem is, you will probably wind up careening into a pit, so, again, once you know the stage, it's very helpful, and actually kind of fun. If I didn't hate looking at the stage so much, I'd like the controls a fair bit. It's an okay mechanic, but anyway. Cool thing about this stage is that Jet Stingray actually makes an appearance outside of the fight. However, I actually find it pretty difficult to not get hit by anything he does, so I kill him immediately. I think I'm also gonna take damage here, right? Yeah, okay, so, you do a lot of hits on him if you dash into him, and it is possible to not get hit when you do that, but this isn't one of those runs where that happened. I could not do that consistently. I also got an E-Tank. Basically, this stage, not great for beginners because it doesn't really let you take anything you learned from the intro stage into an account. But you don't need specific items in order to actually get the upgrades, and that's good. Jet Stingray is so terrified. Alright, so the Jet Stingray fight is not too bad. So basically what he does is he tries to fill up the ground with these Stingrays. It's easier for Zero to hit them than for X to hit them, because of course X has to shoot them, and he can miss because the terrain is uneven. Zero just stabs them. He will also attempt to just do that sort of dip dive, and then, yeah, dive back up. He can sometimes just not shoot Stingrays and dash instead, and I feel like that's probably one of the hardest bits of this fight. Not him just taking up the ground, but him surprising you. It's an easy enough dodge, though. Try to stick around on the other end before he comes down, and if he tries to Stingray you, then you just go over and stab him. And if he tries to dash at you, it's a pretty easy method of just jumping over him when he does that. And if you're next to him when he does dash, it's not too bad to dodge, just try to stick behind him. So pretty much, X's best option for the Stingrays, especially in this phase of the fight once he's low on health and shooting the pink ones, is to stay on the wall and just kind of shoot at him, and hopefully you take out as many of these Stingrays as possible, otherwise they will be a hindrance. The pink Stingray's trying to fall on you, so if you're just a straight line away from Jet Stingray, then that doesn't actually make a difference. They just go flying to the wall anyway. Anyway, Jet Stingray's dead. So, with that, we learn a new move. Thank you, announcer. I'm sure you pronounced that correctly. I'm not going to either try to emulate you or make the same mistake you did. So, cool thing about this game is that X and Zero actually get different weapons. And I said quotes around weapons because X gets standard weapons, as you know, as you always do. These are your usual boss weapons. Zero gets special moves. Now, thankfully, they're not like fighting game inputs per se. They kind of depend on what they are, but he does get special moves that don't rely on weapon energy. You can just use them. I think I set Zero's to the circle button? Can't remember when I'm not playing. It's either triangle or circle. You can look at the menu yourself, but yeah, you get specials for Zero. It's really cool, actually. I like how much they differentiated X and Zero's playstyle. The other thing we should know before we leave is that now that we've fought one Maverick, X and Zero sprites have changed. Which is a shame, because before you actually fight any Mavericks, you do have X looking so angry until he finally chills out. It's so funny. It's really out of character for him to look that mad. Anyway, we beat the boss. That had to sting. I guess I'll throw up the X version of the conversation because X and Zero also have different dialogue before bosses. So there's that, and I will see you next time for the next Maverick.